welcome to episode 127 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a beautiful Friday here in Alabama, where I'm coming to you from. It's gorgeous. It's a little bit warm outside, but it still feels so good. We're going to have a pretty hot weekend ahead, and then it's going to get extremely chilly next week, so that'll be fun. You never know what Alabama weather is going to do, but this is not a podcast about the weather. This is a podcast about all things knitting and crocheting and what I have been working on, and I am so excited to share those things with you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I also have all of the links in the description box below for the places where you can find me on social media, pattern shops, and some specific things that I'm going to be talking about today. So definitely keep that resource in mind, and then if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out via email, which is listed down below, or in the comments. I would love to get back to you and love to stay in touch. So yes, I have quite a few things to share with you. Mainly lots of progress on some projects that I was working on last week, particularly one, and I don't think I've showed that one in a couple weeks, so that'll be fun. But let's go ahead and start off the episode with a huge finished object. So this color blows out the camera just a little bit, but my sweater is officially done. I have been working on this for what feels like forever, and that is my own fault in working on many things at once. It is such a quick sweater. Uses bulky weight yarn, so it really does go quite fast, but this is the Mondrian Pullover by Two of Wands. It is a free pattern on her blog, but then you can also find the PDF on Ravelry, and I think probably Etsy, but I'm not actually 100% sure about that. But I absolutely love this sweater so much. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. It is a sweatshirt style, oversized, slightly cropped, pullover sweater, and I am obsessed. If it's over my favorite t-shirts that are a little bit shorter, that is just going to make it so much easier to wear them, you know, throughout the chillier months. It is so stinking warm. I have gone on like walks in this already early in the morning, when it's like in the 50s outside, and it's so warm and cozy. I just love it so much. I'm already planning a second one, and I cannot wait to get started on it. It'll have to wait until a little bit later in the season because I'm working on some other things right now, but I can't wait to make another one because I just love it so much. So the yarn that I used is Knit Picks Bravo Bulky in the colorway Denim. And it's a really nice blue. It matches a lot of things. It's not like my favorite color, but I had it in stash and I did like it, so I just went ahead and went with it. I really want to make another one in like a mustard, or maybe like a, I don't know, maybe plum purple, something like some kind of like jewel tone-ish color. I don't know. I just think that would look really pretty. I also kind of want a gray one. Like I love this thing so much. Like so much. It's just so cozy. The sleeves are absolutely ginormous. I realize that. I am very well aware. I know they look slightly ridiculous. I just follow the pattern. You know, I made the size small. Typically, I would make the extra small. I don't honestly remember if there was a difference in terms of the sleeves for the extra small and small. I think it might have been like a 4-stitch difference, so not much. I did change the sleeves a little bit, meaning I didn't do like as many decreases like throughout the sleeve. I started with the same amount of number, and then I just continued with that. I decreased a little bit, and then I, like on the cuff, on the very last, like as I was binding off, I decreased the, stitch count by half. So that's why the sleeve kind of goes in just a little bit, and I really like that. It's not tight, obviously, by any means, but it just, you know, it's not as big. The absolute only thing that bothers me a little bit with this sweater is the fact that I can't, like, roll my sleeves up and have them stay, just because it's so loose all over. And that bothers me a little bit, but even though this looks completely ridiculous, so get ready. I noticed it worse when I was trying to wash dishes when wearing this, and so literally what I did is got 2 ponytail holders and put them over the, like, sleeves, like this, and then rolled them up that way. And then it looks completely ridiculous, but it stays, and then after I get done, you know, doing the dishes or whatever, I can just roll them back down. So, totally not a big problem, and absolutely no fault of the pattern, of course. It's just something to note, I guess. But yeah, I love it. It is so cozy and warm. I'm just obsessed with it. It's exactly what I wanted, and that it's so exciting to have a project turn out exactly how you had hoped. So anyways, it is now done. I love it. I will link the pattern down below and the yarn that I used if you want to try it out, because I highly recommend the pattern. It's beginner friendly, very simple, and just a lot of fun and very mindless to do. So yeah, I love it so much. And that is FO number 1 and the only FO that I have that isn't a design. I'm going to glance at my show notes just to be sure. Yeah, the only finished object that I have that isn't a design. So we're going to hop right into some whips. Alrighty, took the sweater off to fix the lighting a little bit and cool down because it is too hot in the middle of the day to wear it. But I wore it this morning and like I said, it was perfect. I just love it. Okay, so first work in progress, and the one that has gotten definitely the most love this week is this shirt jacket. That's what it's called. This is the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta. It is a pattern on Ravelry. I will link it down below. And this is actually a commission. So I don't do a lot of commissions. I actually have a few lined up for this fall season. It's just not something that I typically do business-wise. It's very, very hard to figure out a price that is, fair for both parties, for me and my time, and for the other person. And, just realistically speaking, it can just get really pricey. As we all know, knitting and crocheting takes so long, and it's hard to get that point across to others. And that's totally okay, but that's why I haven't done a ton of commissions in the past. However, if that's something that y'all want to know, just like more of my thoughts about, I would love to make a video on that topic. So just let me know if that would be something that you'd be interested in, because like I said, I do have a few lined up for this fall season, so it'd be a good time to make that video, I suppose. Anyways, so I have been working so hard on this project this week because I am trying to get it done over the course of the next week. I don't know if I'll share it again on the podcast or not, because like I said, this is something that is a commission. It's something I put a lot of time into, but it's not for me, and so it's not, a typical project. But I am really enjoying this pattern. I have already learned a lot, which is really fun. It's got some crazy short rows that I'll share in a second that I just think turned out so cool. So I finished the entire body this week. I actually literally bound off like 30 minutes ago on the hem, and I am so excited to have this part of it done. It is so much knitting, and I am really pumped to be on the sleeves now because I am certain they will go a little bit faster. All I have left are both sleeves and the button band, so I still have a lot of knitting ahead of me. But I really enjoy knitting sleeves. It's like a big long hat to me. You knit in the round forever, and I love that very much. So I am excited to start those later this evening, and I am hoping to get one done today, but we'll see. It's currently 4 o'clock in the afternoon, a little bit after actually, so we'll just see what happens. But so yes, here's what it currently looks like. Now this has to be wet blocked, and once that happens, it's going to lay flat exactly how it's supposed to, so don't worry about any bunching. All of that will be taken care of. But look at the hem of this thing. All of these, like this crazy wave, is just from short rows. Is that not so cool? I just think that is an absolutely amazing technique. I have seen this look before. Obviously I see it all the time in store-bought, especially plaid shirts this time of year, and shackets, but I have never seen it in a knitted garment, and it is just so cool. So I am now itching to incorporate that into a cardigan for myself. Not exactly this one, but maybe just a more cardigan style, not so much a jacket, but just a cardigan that has that same hemline, because I just think it looks so cool. My favorite jacket that I wear this time of year has that same hemline, and I really like it. I think it's really flattering. And yeah, I think it's so cool that this is knitted. So I'm going to actually slip this on, so that you can see it a little bit. Like I said, it's not for me. It's a little bit big for me. But here's what that hem looks like. And again, it's going to be blocked, so it's going to, lay nice and flat. But I just think that is so cool. So the body is done, which is very exciting. Like I said, onto the sleeves and then the button band. And then it will be finished. I have had a lot of late nights, super late nights this week, working on this project, just trying to get it done when I can. But yeah, it's going great, and I love it so much. The yarn that I'm using is, if you're curious, Knit Picks Simply Wool. This is a bulky weight 5 yarn. It is 100% eco wool, so it's just this really nice kind of brownish gray color. It's not, there we go, that's accurate right there, kind of alters the camera a little bit, but that's what that color looks like. It's just a really nice staple color, I think, for the fall and winter season. I hope the person that it's for really loves it, because I think it's going to look really nice once it's done. Alrighty, and then the only other work in progress that I have going right now that isn't a design is actually something super small. I just kind of started it on a whim because I wanted to try out these new hooks that I got. But this is just a Knoll dishcloth that I am currently working on. This is a pattern for free on my blog and as a YouTube tutorial, or you can find the PDF on Ravelry at Etsy. But here's what it currently looks like. So this is just kind of like a modified shell stitch. Okay, had to stop the camera briefly to clear up some storage, but we're back. So like I was saying, this is just kind of a modified shell stitch, which is like my favorite crochet stitch of all time. So I really, really enjoy this pattern, and I will link it down below if you want to try it out. But these hooks I just got from Knitter's Pride. They reached out and asked if I wanted to try some things and then share them with you guys, and this is one of the things that I am trying out, and I love them so much. So these are I'm going to have like a separate video on them in the future, but these are the Knitter's Pride Zing single-ended crochet hook set, and I love them. It's my favorite hook shape, and then they're like a really slick aluminum, super lightweight, and they just glide through the stitches really well. And I'm fully enjoying them. So I wanted to start this project. I wanted a couple more like washcloths for myself, and I like this pattern, so I decided to go with it, and then I wanted to try the hook, of course. So it was kind of a win-win situation. But yeah, so having so much fun with both of those projects, and I'm really excited to have them both done. Again, hopefully over the course of this next week, I am hoping to finish those things, start another commission that I have lined up, and hopefully start something completely new as well. That is the hope. But until then, I have a couple designs to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Alrighty, design-wise, I have two projects to share with you. First off, though, I did release the Efficient Blanket last week, so I will link that below if you want to try it out, or, check it out, purchase the pattern, download it, whatever floats your boat. But I just want to thank you for the overwhelming support for that release. I'm so happy so many of you loved it, and I really, really love that blanket. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I just think it's so cute and so, simple, and just the perfect addition to any living area. And so definitely check out that pattern if you haven't already. But in terms of current designs, I am working on a bulky weight version of the Best Dude beanie, which is just a simple 2x2 ribbed beanie that I have designed with men in mind, for something for, wife, friend, sister, whatever, to knit for them, because sometimes it can be really hard to figure out what to make for them, and usually most men will crochet a hat. So that was my hope behind that design. I've made so many in the past, and so I wanted to create a pattern this season that is a little bit faster than the original version. It uses bulky weight yarn, which means significantly less stitches, and it is going so well. So I actually have not made much progress on this at all this week, because the majority of my time has been spent on the cardigan, the commission cardigan, but the pattern itself is done. So I'm just waiting to get this sample done, and then I will be able to release this pattern. But here's what it currently looks like. I am using Cascade Yarns Pacific Bulky. I don't have the label in here, so I do not know the color name, but it's like this really pretty kind of heathered charcoal gray. And then these needles are so beautiful. Once again, I am trying these out for Knitter's Pride. I have an unboxing and kind of like a demo video on them that I will link down below. But this is the day and night needle set. They're so beautiful. They're wooden interchangeable needles. One side is this light color wood, and then the other is this darker color. So they're really great for a yarn that kind of blends into the needle a little bit. It helps your stitches stand out and just easier to see on the needles, and I am fully enjoying them. So I will link that video down below. You can also use the code JOLLY10 at checkout to get 2% off your purchase. So I will put all the information down below. Very, very exciting. But I am slowly working away on that beanie, and then hopefully I can convince one of my brothers to model it for me. Well, wish me luck. I think they'll do it. They've done it in the past. Let's hope they do it again. Anyway, and then the other design that I am working on is this pair of socks that I am hoping to release in just a couple weeks. I was hoping to get this first sock done this week, and it didn't quite happen, but I did put a significant amount of progress into it, at least. Enough to love it even more. I'm so excited about this design. So I'm working on this squishy pair of socks. These are going to be called the penny socks. I'm using yarn by Ruby and Rose's Yarn, who is Addison, a friend of mine, and I just adore her and her yarn. And this color is absolutely gorgeous and so perfect for this time of year. But yeah, not much to say on these. I've been working on them for a couple weeks now, so they're kind of slow going. But again, pattern is done. I just gotta get this sample done. It's like, you know, knitting just takes time. It just takes time, and time is something that is hard to come by right now. So, you know, I have to sleep at some point. But I'm loving this so much. It's such a squishy texture. I cannot wait to wear these with leggings and boots. It's just the perfect fall sock. So, very excited about that. And like I said, that's hopefully going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'm aiming for either the last week of October or the first week of November. So, that's what I have planned right now. We'll see what happens, but that is definitely the goal, and I'm hoping to uphold that. And that is it for all things knit and crochet and yarn this week. Like I said, I'm hoping to start some new things, finish some big things over the course of this next week. So definitely stay tuned for next week, of course. But I do have a little devotional to share with you guys, so I hope that you choose to stick around for that. So for devotional this week, I wanted to talk about something that I have talked about many times on the podcast, but I wanted to mention it because it was just on my mind a lot this week, and then in general, this is something that is such a small part, but has the huge impact on my life, and so I want to share it with you guys as much as I can, and just encourage you to do it and practice it as well, and that is keeping a gratitude journal. So, very brief backstory, I was encouraged by a church friend to start this in 2020, I believe, and I've been doing it ever since. I have done this every single day for almost 1,000 days, which is crazy. But this week I finished this gratitude journal, and I was like looking back through it, and it's so crazy because I started this exact notebook on February 2nd of this year, and we are now in the middle of October. So obviously, you know, I mean, this journal lasts forever because I did 4 days on one page. So it's not surprising that it lasted so long, but it's just so beautiful to look back on this journal and see, you know, what I was grateful for on a specific day, and just how life has changed even since February, and how God has been faithful and so good, and sometimes even in the midst of my discouragement and unbelief, He was still working, and I just needed the eyes to see it and believe it. So it's super simple. Literally all I do is sit down and write 10 things that I'm grateful for every single day. It can be something as simple as watching the sunrise, or driving to work and listening to music, or something as big as an answered prayer, or just a way that God really showed up that week, or a family member, etc. It's just made the biggest impact on my life. I was talking to someone earlier this week, and just saying how, you know, before I started doing this, gratitude really wasn't something that I thought about a whole lot, except for at Thanksgiving. And that's just so sad. It's a mindset I want to have forever. I can confidently say that now, even if it sounds cheesy and silly, I can look at a situation now and immediately I find something to be grateful for, or choose to look at a way to grow through it, instead of just being discouraged by something not working out how I want to. And that is a huge shift in my own life, and my own mindset, and my own just personality. And so this has been, like I said, the smallest little mundane task every single day that has left the biggest impact. And I'm so excited to just continue it forever. Honestly, this is not something I plan on stopping. I plan to always have a gratitude journal going, and to spend that time working in it every single day. But yeah, so I encourage you to start that. Obviously not to be like, you know, add pressure, but it's just really beautiful. And sometimes the simplest things in life that can make the biggest difference. So just wanted to share that this week because, like I said, finishing that journal was kind of a big moment when I realized how long I had one journal for. So yeah, I hope that was an encouragement to you. Life-wise, it has been another crazy week, but a really good one. It was fall break for most of the schools here, and that actually meant a little bit less work for me as well, which was nice. I had 2 days actually off this week, which was crazy, but really good. I was able to get a lot of stuff done, obviously a lot of work done on that cardigan, which was so nice because I was definitely a little bit stressed out about it. Still am, but less so. I've made a significant amount of progress, so I'm excited to keep doing that over the course of this weekend. I know that it is Rhinebeck weekend, which is super exciting, so I hope that everyone who is going has the best, well, this will be coming out after that's over, so I hope you had the best time if you went. If you did go, I would love to hear all about it. I have never been, and I don't know if I'll ever go, but it's such a cool opportunity, so, and I know it's beautiful in New York at this time of year. I love fall so much, so I hope that you are enjoying every single minute of it as well. But yes, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. I would love to have you be a part of this little community here on YouTube. I hope that you are having the best week full of so much making, and I will see you again next time. Until then, happy making. Bye.